Even as school fees fall, the high cost of education is still a problem for a lot of parents in the UAE. But is there a solution? That's what we're discussing on this edition of Inside AB. I'm Bernta Boosman, and this is Shruti Nair.
Right, so like you said, Bernie, the school fees are really high, and this sort of reminds me of what Emaar Group Chairman Mohamed Alabbar had told a few years back. He'd given a lot of provocative statements of the state of private schools and how they're overcharging in terms of fees and how school fees are sucking the life out of people in the UAE at this point. So what do you think? Do you agree with the statements that Alabbar had said?
Well, yes and no. So on one hand, I do think it is too expensive. For example, someone having to pay $21,000 for kindergarten per year, and almost $100,000 over the course of a child's education. But on the other hand, these schools are businesses and they need to survive. I think a lot of parents. My personal opinion is that if you put your child in an expensive school, you knew that going in, and you did it for a reason, because you want a quality education for your child.
So like you mentioned, those staggering figures, that's $80,000 just for kindergarten or dirhams just for kindergarten, could be a bit much. And not just that, there are also the other additional fees that come along. For example, the registration fee, which is about 500 dirhams for, just registering in the school. So if your son or daughter get in or not, you irrespective have to pay the registration fee. Even according to an HSBC report, it says that the average fee that's charged in the UAE is more than twice the global average. So these are ridiculously high rates that are being charged and that are being charged consistently. And there probably is a problem with the system too, because just for those who don't know yet, in Dubai, school fee increases are determined by the Knowledge and Human Development Authority. So the way it works is schools that are rated outstanding, the annual review can increase their fee by double the cost education index, and those rated good may increase it by 1.5 times. So the increase every year can be really, really high. But I think Sheikh Hamdan had said it last year that, there are going to be no increases this year.
Yeah, he did say that. And I think in general, a lot of schools will opt not to do that because, there's a lot of schools and a lot of people have gone home in the last few years. So there's a lot of seats that need filling. So they need to they're doing things like incentives. For example, if you have siblings or if you're a founding member, you can get a discount in your school. But that starts another problem because then the parents paying the full price, they're not going to be happy.
Exactly. Very similar to what's happening with the real estate market. Like you just mentioned right now that your rent has gone down by 17%, but that's not the case with the rest of the tenants in the same building. So obviously the rest of them are not really going to be happy with this arrangement. So it could be a little unfair, but because obviously they're trying to attract more people because there's no demand-supply balance at this point where, a lot of people have left the UAE. That's why there aren't as many students in the country who are applying to get admitted in a lot of schools. And also there's a problem with the supply, because at this point it was just announced that there are 13 new schools that are going to be introduced in the UAE just this year, which would I think make the number of schools in Dubai itself to go up to 282, which is a massive number given the rate at which we're heading.
And of course, but at the same time, a lot of investors that are investing in education aren't necessarily looking at Dubai anymore because it is in a way probably an oversaturated market, so they could take their money elsewhere to a place where that's not necessarily the case.
Exactly, and which is happening right now. The investors are sort of fleeing from this region and they're moving to other markets, for example, Southeast Asia, China, and even parts of Europe post-Brexit, given that this market has become a little saturated right now. So you mentioned a short-term solution, but we still don't know what the long-term solution is. And you also did say that, if you want better quality, you will have to pay a higher price for it. This is something very similar that Sani Varki from Gem School had also said that, parents can't really complain about the school fees if they chose high school quality. So they can't, you can't really have both ways, is what he said. Number of statistics also say that in the UAE, to break even, a school per year per student needs to charge at least 12,000 dirhams, which is again, if you're seeing the institution as a business, it's a fair amount to charge.
It is. But I mean, on the positive note, I think in the short term, since it is a buyer's market now, a lot of parents will be happy at the immediate effect of that school fees aren't going up, or they may even get a reduction in certain cases. So I mean, that's probably a positive for a lot of people watching.
Exactly. So the situation in schools are going to be sort of interesting, where the new parents are going to be happy that the incentives are there. The old parents might not be as happy, but well, we'll just have to wait and watch.
Well, perfect. Well, we'd love to hear what you have to say about this. If you have kids, what do you think of their school fees? Are you paying too much? Are you happy with the school? Please let us know in the comments section. You're watching Inside AB. Make sure to tune in every weekday morning at 10 a.m. Thank you.